Hey guys, I'm Dori with the blog This Full Life 5, and today I want to give a review on my experience with Valspar's Cabinet Enamel. I typically love Valspar's products. I've used several of them. I have a few reviews of different paints up and I will link to those below, but this is one that I was not impressed with. We bought this paint intending to use it on our kitchen cabinets, but we were also in the middle of remodeling our guest bathroom. We did some board and batten in that bathroom, and I thought, if this is good enough for my cabinets, why not my board and batten? So I'm just gonna try it out. So I used it there before even trying it on my kitchen cabinets. I bought it in white over a dark stain, so I will say that, but the claims of this paint are that you don't have to prime, that you can use it over old finishes, even old wood finishes without priming, that you can use it without getting brush marks, and that it's a durable, non-yellowing finish that can be cleaned up with soap and water. It does say that if you are painting over laminate that you need to go ahead and prime, but if you're painting over wood, you're not supposed to have to prime. So I didn't prime. I just went right over the wood on the board and batten, and it was terrible. It did not do a good job at all. It was splotchy. I did coat after coat after coat on this paint, and after 4 coats of paint, I was so frustrated with this product. I was using a brush and it just did not go well. I was ready to just give up and get another paint, and then I decided I would try one more thing. I would use a roller, and so I used a foam 4-inch roller and I rolled the paint on, and finally it gave me a good finish that I was happy with. Those first 4 coats were really frustrating, and to have to do 5 coats of paint was ridiculous to me, and so I was not happy with that at all. I decided to go ahead and give it another try on the bathroom door that came pre-primed, so it was already white and I just needed to go over it, and so I thought, it'll take 2 coats, it'll be fine. I went over it again using the brush, and it turned out splotchy again. It wasn't even, it looked streaky, it was terrible. I did several more coats. It didn't work even though the door was already primed, and so again I got that roller out, I rolled it on the door, and then the finish was okay. I wasn't thrilled, but it was better than it had been. I still intend to go back and repaint that door because it just doesn't look great. But so I was really frustrated with this paint. I wasn't super happy with it. This is one of the most popular posts on my blog, and I've had people email me and comment that they have since used this paint in a darker color and that they had great results with it. So I don't know if it was just because it was white. I know typically you do have to do more coats if you're doing white, which is understandable, but having to do 5 or 6 coats is ridiculous. So especially when they claim that you don't need to prime before you use the product. So that's why I was so frustrated with this product. But like I said, maybe if you are using it in a darker color, you will have better luck. Also, maybe if you go ahead and prime and then use a darker color, you might be just fine. I had thought to maybe go ahead and try it on the cabinets, on the kitchen cabinets, since we were going with a darker color. We painted them gray, but when I went to Lowe's to buy this paint, they were actually out of it. What they did have was this new line of cabinet and furniture enamel, also by Valspar, and so I purchased this instead in the gray that we were using on the cabinets, and it did a beautiful job. I'm going to give a review on this in a few months down the road. As far as it going on to the cabinets, it did a beautiful job, but I want to see how it's going to hold up over time, so I'm not doing a review on this quite yet. But I ended up using this instead of the cabinet enamel. I don't know if they are combining the product. They have this furniture paint, which I recently did a review on, and then obviously their cabinet enamel that I've been talking about, and so I don't know if they're taking those products and combining them into one product, because I didn't see either the cabinet enamel or the furniture paint when I was at Lowe's, so I'm wondering if that's what they're doing. But what I do like about this paint is that it gave you the option of coming in a satin or a semi-gloss, whereas the cabinet enamel only came in a semi-gloss, so I like that you can choose which finish you want on that. And so I'm gonna see how this holds up. I'm gonna let you guys know here in a few months, but we did end up doing that instead of using this cabinet enamel, and we've been really happy with it. I will say on our trim, we painted our trim white, going over a dark finish with Valspar's door and trim paint. And it also made the same claims that the cabinet enamel made, that you didn't need to sand, you didn't need to prime, you could go over old finishes, all of those things. But because of the experience that I had with this paint, I didn't even give it a chance. I used Valspar's high hiding primer on our trim, and I gave it 2 coats of the primer and then 1 coat of the door and trim enamel, and it turned out beautiful. Our trim looks amazing. It's held up really well, and I've been really happy with it. So so maybe if you try this with the high hiding primer first, if you're going with white, I would do that. I would do the high hiding primer with the cabinet enamel for sure. I would definitely prime with it if you're going to use this. So that's my experience with the Valspar Cabinet Enamel. If you have any questions, please shoot me a comment. If you've had a different experience with the cabinet enamel, I'd love to hear from you too, and just see what you thought about it. But for more on our home, check us out on thisfull5.com and go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and so we will see you soon.